Alright, hello my friends, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. For those of you who skipped character creation, this is an Ironman playthrough, using our Githyanki Sorcerer, my pick for the strongest race class combo in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a Tactician playthrough focused on strategy. Ironman means we can't reload any saves unless a bug forces us to do so, so if a character dies, we have to revive them using a Revivify scroll or other raise dead option. If we end up failing a skill check, then we just fail it. That's the end of it, and we have to live with the consequences. And if the entire party wipes, the entire playthrough is over. I have over 20 years of Dungeons & Dragons experience and character optimization knowledge under my belt, so I'm pretty confident we can make it through without wiping, but just to add a little element of drama to the proceedings. If you missed character creation, I did that in episode 0, but I expect a lot of people will want to start right with the gameplay, so we're just going to get into it right now. Alright, let's take a look around our area. So, first up, I'm just going to quickly check my inventory. We have our camp supply sack, keychain, and alchemy pouch. We have a single scroll of Revivify and a couple health potions, which is all great. Also have all the default skills that we can get. The most important one of these is Jump, which allows you to reposition as a bonus action. Finally, my spell selection, I've gone with Sleep and Shield as my two level 1 spells, and so we will primarily be using Firebolt and Sleep as our combat spells for the early game. Let's take a look around this area and see what we can find. Let's start with this Mind Flayer pod. Someone else got out.
This is the pool it came from. The gay parasite that has violated your mind.
Sure, we'll make a skill check here. We can add a bonus. We could select Intelligence as our Astral Knowledge skill and gain proficiency in every Intelligence skill. We're going to do that because typically that's the one we're going to want to set it to. Alright, well, we missed. We have no idea what's going on with this nursery.
You notice nothing more than meets the eye.
Can we get our Mind Flayer bug? Oh, we cannot. Ow! Oh no! Ow! I had no idea that would happen. An amethyst. Take a quick look around the area. I'm holding Alt to highlight objects. I'm gonna go grab everything out of this cartilaginous chest. Also pick up the gem on the table. Gems in this game are only good for selling. They don't have any other use, so grabbing these is good for loot. Oh boy, 8 gold. And then I believe there's another chest up here somewhere. We can get 8 more gold. Really living large. Yep, here's the other chest. Alright. Got another gem and a little more gold. This object heals us to full, which is really nice. And can be used infinitely, basically, to get us through the tutorial zone without dying. $5 gold.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
Investigating every object, because that's useful.
1,000 years of humanoid history, elves, dwarves, humans, and more flash behind your eyes.
I suppose I ought to take these things because they're worth like $1. What have we got here? Doesn't do anything. That's because it's the elevator control. I'm sure that sinister voice is not a problem at all. I should mention that this video game has scenes of gore and other disturbing imagery, and if you find these things upsetting, you should definitely not watch, because there will be more of this.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
Fail to save there.
Please. Before they return! They return.
Somehow this guy doesn't know that I am a Githyanki. Alright, what do you want from me?
This body. From this case. Free us. Please.
We don't have any points in investigation. We can do some dexterity, but let's start with investigation, because we did give ourselves proficiency. Alright, we've succeeded.
Edema, a swelling of the brain causing pressure where it strains against the shell of the skull.
Gross. Let's make this medicine check. Even untrained, we get advantage because we learned that it's a medicine check. Advantage in this game is effectively worth +5. Alright, well that didn't work out great. But basically, roll 2, take the highest, is worth the same as +5 to a d20 roll, so it's better than proficiency at low levels.
The swelling is too great. You cannot lift the brain out of the skull.
Alright, well, that didn't work out well. I've never tried this option. Sure. Let's destroy it. Gross. I feel like we could have used a weapon for that and not just gone in barehanded. Dang, we don't even get any XP or anything? Alright, well. That's going to make the early game a little harder. So that guy, if you successfully free it, is a little ally for you. And also how you learn a little bit about the game's storyline. So I'll just go over what we would have learned if we'd freed it. Basically, we have a Mind Flayer parasite in our heads, which lets us control that Intellect devourer. Let's take a look at this cutscene, though. It's a dragon. Awesome. I really love the background in this shot. Also, like, you really get the sense of speed that we are on an out of control ship careening into the ground. Sick hops.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the Gith's eyes.
Oh. My head. What is this? Skvar. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
I like that she's nice to us because we're also a Githyanki, because Githyanki are space supremacists.
Have you forgotten yourself? Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted.
Just answer the question,
Within
lady.
days, we will be Gaith, mind flayers.
There must be
We can
something we can
nothing until
do.
we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
And now we get to learn about combat. Nice, we won initiative. Alright, so I'm not going to bother wasting a sleep on these guys, although it would work. They have 9 HP, or 7 HP, so I could put 2 of them to sleep. Sleep has a pretty good radius, so I could... a pretty good range, so I could hit all 3 of them and knock them all out. But we don't need to waste that on these low-level enemies. So let's just start with throwing a firebolt, 95% to hit. It's a decent chance to kill. Didn't quite get there, but that's okay. And I'm going to back my sorcerer up out of harm's way. The imp should have 30 feet of movement speed, so we can kind of mouse over and see how far away it is. It's 35 feet away, so it shouldn't be able to reach us this turn. Now the one that has 1 health, I think we can ignore, so let's have Lae'zel run up. She's using a 2-handed longsword. Misses. Alright, Lae'zel, you're not endearing yourself to me so far. This one should be able to come in and hit her. That's 1 damage already. Let me get that combat log up. Alright, we're just going to keep using our cantrip. We'll shoot the low health one. Got him. And then we want to run into threatened range for this other one, because you always want to move into threatened range with your melee characters. So this fiery bolt, I'm not 100% sure if this counts as a ranged attack and will be cast at disadvantage, or if that's actually just a spell. I think it's... No, it uses an attack roll, a ranged attack roll, so that should be rolled at disadvantage. It doesn't... Yeah, there we go. Disadvantage. So, because we put Lae'zel in melee with that imp and it made a ranged attack roll, it's effectively taking a -5 to the attack, which on a d20, a 20-sided die, is incredibly valuable. Alright. We've proved adequate. Sure, I'll grab this stuff. So this is pretty useful. 1 damage and bleed on all enemies, so we can use that as a consumable attack. This scimitar, not particularly useful. I'm going to dump all the stuff that we want to sell onto Lae'zel. Just easier to keep track of that way. This crossbow, though, I'm going to equip as my ranged weapon. That gives us a nice ranged attack, so we now have our piercing shot and ranged attack options. And then, does Lae'zel have a ranged weapon right now? She does have a short bow, but the crossbow should be better. This is 1d8, short bow is 1d6. So, given that this game doesn't model reloading or anything, the crossbow is just better than the short bow. No other items in this area. We'll just continue to loot all the corpses. Alright, all this stuff we are passing over, and then we can use this healing item. So, one principle that I'm going to have with this game is that I'm going to try to long rest a realistic amount. I don't actually know if we can. Yeah, we can't on the ship, but short rests and long rests normally are 2 short rests per day and long rest whenever you have enough supplies for it. We're going to try to treat each dungeon as a single day. That's not something I'm going to stick to strictly, but for the most part we're going to attempt not to abuse the long rest feature of this game. There's a couple other very abusable strategies that I'm going to be trying to avoid. We mostly won't be carrying explosive barrels around to set up instant kills on enemies. On the other hand, I am going to do a little bit of quick saving sometimes. You'll see me quick save occasionally because this game does have a few bugs, and I don't want to run into those.
Touch nothing without knowing its purpose.
Right, let's grab whatever this is from the backpack.
You! Get me out of this damn thing! Don't waste time on Istik. We must go.
So we can take a skill check because we are a sorcerer. See if we can determine the magic, and because we have Arcana proficiency, because we gave ourselves proficiency with all int skills, we only need a 5 or higher on this check.
Warding runes. You feel them drawing energy from the console near to the pod.
Are you satisfied? We need to go. Hurry! Please!
So we're going to select the be nice to Shadowheart option, because we do want her to like us.
The console appears dormant.
And because we already made the check, we can just open it for
The
free.
console hums to life.
Taking a closer look here. Natural 1! No!
Nothing in the appearance of the device betrays its purpose. It could do anything.
Well, we don't know what it's going to do, but we're going to do our best.
You feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
We're going to open this pod. One thing that I think is really funny is if you get a natural 1 on this check, you just don't get Shadowheart for your whole playthrough. I think she just dies. And
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
as you can probably tell, I've run through Act 1 of this game on my own so far, but I will try not to spoil too many later storyline things, but I'll be commenting sometimes on stuff that will happen in the future. Alright, let's talk to her.
I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you're a Gith.
You're a
Racist.
Gith. Why did you help me? And you expect what in return exactly? Githyanki aren't given to charity.
True, based on the lore, but we're going to be trying to be nice to most people in this playthrough.
That's what your kind does. They take. Still, you did help me.
Primarily
We both need
because
all the help
that's
we can get. Let's try to get off this thing together.
that's the optimization route. If you're slightly nicer to people, you end up with more options for how you can progress through different storylines.
One moment.
Finally. Let us make for the helm. We've wasted enough time already.
She's right. Lead on.
If you're trying to get Shadowheart to like you, you shouldn't ask her about anything, basically. Alright, so over here we've got some sacrificed
Man
cultists.
isn't dead, but he's totally unresponsive.
And we can try to make something happen with these buttons. I'm gonna push this button. And they exploded. I think we could have gotten a little bit of XP because you can wake them up as zombies to attack you, but I didn't remember which button that was. Sure, Lae'zel, well, you can sell that mug.
of use. Need a key.
Alright, that's locked. Illithid manuscript. Let's read it.
Faint
There's one of
images
these guys,
appear
but
in your
he's not
mind.
mad at us.
A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries of darkness.
Brain in a jar.
Brain jar.
Curious.
I don't know if the brains in a jar have any actual use. But let's go through this door and see what we can find in here. Oh hey, he's got a key. I wonder if that's useful for anything.
How many hosts are these gay infected?
Thanks, buddy.
A dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
Couple healing potions. I'm gonna give those to Lae'zel for now.
Maggots will be
She's
done.
got 4. Shadowheart has 2. Yeah, it's all fine.
And, well,
We've got
in
3.
it.
Eldritch Rune. You can use that to open stuff in the previous room, but I wanted to...
This might unlock those controls next to the pod.
Or no, this Eldritch Rune is for this, I think. No, that's for the previous room. That's for saving
As you place
Shadowheart.
your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside to change.
Change her. Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
Squire, this cannot, must not be our fate.
Alright, let me head back into this room, and then I'm just going to take a quick look at our characters as well, just to show you what is available. So, we have the key. We're going to grab whatever's in this box. It's a little bit of cash. So, let's take a look at the characters. So, for my character, we're a sorcerer with our bells. Lae'zel is a level 1 fighter. She has great weapon fighting. So, she gains additional damage with a 2-handed melee weapon, which includes the versatile weapon that she's actually using. She has this martial prodigy racial feature, which doesn't do anything because she's a fighter, so she already has all those proficiencies. And we have Shadowheart, a trickery domain cleric. So trickery domain clerics get a couple really interesting abilities. So as a trickery domain cleric, she's going to get all of the normal cleric spells, although she doesn't currently have Bless learned, so we're definitely going to have her prepare that as soon as we can. But she also has her Blessing of the Trickster ability. So this will give creatures advantage on stealth checks, and she will later get her Invoke Duplicity, which allows her to create advantage on attacks near enemy units. That's not an amazing ability, and spoiler alert, I'm going to be switching what kind of cleric she is, because the Trickery Cleric, as implemented in this game, is not very strong. Let's go back to our main character, and head on in to the next zone. These boots have seen
We are
everything.
nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Yank.
Foreshadowing of some clashes between these characters. Let's actually just quickly chat
Something
with them.
matter? Besides the obvious, that is. You can call me Shadowheart.
Let me remember to actually mouse rather than hitting the number for dialogue, so you can see what
Pondering my name won't get us off this ship.
Dialogue
Let's
options
stow
I'm
the
actually
small
picking.
talk until we're safe, shall we? Well, jumping overboard is hardly an option. So that leaves us with taking control of this ship. Provided we can figure out how to do that, of course. I'm right behind you.
I feel like you should be in front of me, being a cleric and all.
Not now. We must go to the helm. Who am I? Your only chance of survival. Now move. You are wasting time.
I like my character's face for that. It's perfect. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Control over the ship. Or do you wish to die here?
Got him.
Draw. Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
Alright, so here we go, our first sort of large-scale combat. So, these enemies between them have exactly 24 hit points. We have the sleep spell. So we can put all 3 of these enemies to sleep, because this gives us a maximum of 24 hit points. And there's no save against sleep, which is why it's such a powerful early game tool. I'm also going to run my guy forward. Take a look at what's on the ground, and I'll end the turn here. These guys are just going to hang out and fight each other. Alright, Lae'zel, you can go... No, we don't want you to have your ranged weapon. Why don't you go start executing some of these sleeping enemies?
Will you break?
So, the extra damage here is because a sleeping enemy gets critical hit automatically. And then you should be able to start grabbing some of the items from these bodies, which is perfect. I could have gained a little more distance with her by jumping. Should have remembered to do that because it's just a bonus action. And then Shadowheart, your job in this encounter is going to be to run around scooping up all of the gear from the corpses so we can sell it later. Oops. I thought that was a corpse. My bad. Woke him up. Critical hit with mace was still only 4 damage. It's alright. Missed his attack. So our main character is just going to run forward, pick up gear from the thrall, and then we're going to jump, because you can gain a little extra distance by using your bonus action to jump. Pick up gear from the thrall, and then we can shoot a firebolt at this imp, probably. The lieutenant here is going to be focused on the mind flayer. That said, it might be kind of fun to try to kill him. I might do a video on killing that guy later on, because I think that would be a fun challenge. For now, we're going to play this kind of straight up. So you can run over here and kill this imp. Critical hit should be basically guaranteed to finish off that last imp. Grab all its stuff. There's also some random items on the ground here, which we can start looking to have her grab.
Not now.
Alright, Shadowheart. Let's also jump over to here to gain a little bit of additional movement. Jump is probably your best ability in this game, although I maybe jumped into a location she can't get out of.
What's inside?
Why don't you run forward and grab stuff from the Mind Flayer? When we reach a certain point forward, a few more enemies are going to spawn, so I'm going to try to avoid doing that. And sure, I'll take a shot at Commander Zalk. Ooh, 1 fire damage. Got him.
Connect the transponder.
Ignore the devil. We must take the transponder.
So let's start with a jump, because Lae'zel gets a ton of extra speed from jumping. We'll jump over to here to pick up this void bulb. And then she can activate dash, so for an action, gain a bunch of additional movement.
Make way.
I don't care about triggering this cutscene.
Hurry before they strike.
A few more enemies are not going to be a huge deal. They'll join the initiative here and start running towards us.
Concentrate.
Alright, Shadowheart in the back, you are going to focus on picking stuff up for us. I don't think there's anything over here that we want, but I guess I'll check it out. Alright, there wasn't anything that we want. Shadowheart, your job again is just to collect crap on the ground. Congratulations.
What might you be hiding?
Take this caustic bulb, but that could be useful later. Not enough movement. Alright, fair enough.
Ship hits the ground, we're dead.
Alright, can I get to within 60 feet to again put these 2 groups of enemies to sleep? Don't think so, and I might want to save one of my 2 level 1 spells for later. So let's start with a firebolt on this imp. Oh, again for 6 damage. It's a 1d10. So the chances of killing a 7 health imp are only 30%, but slightly less than 30% because of course we can miss our attacks. But kind of sad that we've hit 6 damage on both. Yeah, so he's going to keep attacking the Mind Flayer for a little while anyways. These enemies will dash towards us. Lae'zel, you can just hit this guy. Oh, you missed. Embarrassing. Why don't you just stay there then? 4 damage on a D4 attack. Finish off this imp. Oh, sure. She rolls 9 damage.
For anything useful.
We have 12 turns remaining, so I can spend quite a bit of time just finding all the remaining crap on the ground. Although at a certain point, more enemies are going to show up, so it becomes a little more difficult. Can't reach these items. Can I walk over and reach them? What do you mean can't reach this? I'm literally right there. They're just lying on the thing. Can I mage hand them? Alright, well, feeling a little cheated there.
Another day, another fight.
Somehow it feels better to roll a 3 damage attack than a 6 damage attack. It's okay to take that hit. And you run up here and get in threat range. Anything else that we want to pick up? Doesn't look like it. Throw in a dash. Nope, there's nothing else on the ground. A couple more enemies are going to show up behind us, which is fine. We're too far away for them to matter. Still can't pick up that crap. So let's run over here.
Light on my feet.
Make sure I'm maximizing my XP by killing these imps. Also, I want to make sure I'm actually casting the firebolt on the imp and not on Lae'zel, which the game really wanted me to do. As long as the Mind Flayer is still alive, we have plenty of time. Alright, that imp has nothing. Can I jump back to here and try to pick up this caustic bulb?
Found and taken.
I see, so this side we can get all the stuff. It's just the other side we can't. Cool. And then Shadowheart can end the encounter for us.
The helm's alien transponder. You've made it in time.
Oh no! It would be really funny if the game let whoever actually triggered that event just get swept off the side of the boat. Never to be seen again. A thing I like about this game is that it does let you just completely miss companions if you mess up. Ow. The like clustered together tubes, like the sort of sea sponge like tubes on the side of the Nautilus, I think are a fun visual touch. And I always forget the name for this, but there's a name for a phobia of a group of holes very close together, which I think is a fairly common one.
The tadpole squirms in your skull.
Let's orient ourselves.
That confuses the landscape. You'll need to find a settlement or landmark, and you'll need to do it quickly. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
Alright, well here we are on the beach, having escaped the ship. We also mysteriously regained our spell slots, so I guess I could have used that extra sleep spell while on the ship, but trying to avoid Again, I'm using the game's mechanics too much. And here we are, having arrived on the ravaged, mysterious beach. Few dead people in the area, and some lag-inducing fire. Alright, my friends, I think that will do it for this episode. We've escaped the tutorial zone and are ready to embark on Baldur's Gate 3. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We'll be getting into more detailed strategy, obviously, now that we're out of the tutorial zone. But as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a comment, like the video to help me with the algorithm. We are co-oping the algorithm much as one might co-op Baldur's Gate 3, because it is a powerful and wily adversary that we need to overcome together. And of course you can subscribe to my channel for more of this and other strategy game content. I'll catch you next time. GG.